Good morning. My name is Jim Sheets. I've lived here in Caloosa for 7 or 8 years, and as a concerned community member, I've always been bothered about the state of Lake Spinnaker. If you give me about 10 minutes, I'd like to talk to you about that, offer some solutions, too, in number, and then talk to you a little bit about an opportunity that has arisen that this community should not miss. So give me about 10 minutes, if you would, and let's all learn something about lakes and Lake Spinnaker. The first clip I have to offer this morning is a little thing about floating islands. These are in use all over the country, indeed all over the world, for water management situations, whether it be lakes, ponds, canals, even sewage facilities that use them. What they are is, in fact, miniature wetlands. So take a peek at this, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it when we're finished.
Hello, I'm Joe Brown with Patriot Land and Wildlife Management, and I'd like to introduce you to a revolution in stewardship, BioHaven floating islands. Some of today's most significant problems involve decreasing water quality, the loss of wetlands, and subpar wildlife habitat. BioHaven floating islands have become one of the most promising solutions to these problems. Modeled after natural floating islands in Wisconsin, BioHaven floating islands are constructed from layers of recycled plastic matrix which are bonded together and injected with marine foam for flotation. Their size, shape, and buoyancy is completely customizable to meet the needs of a multitude of applications. From floating walkways to habitat-covered islands, BioHavens are creating a new, innovative technology that can perform many functions in a waterway. Although the material itself has its own benefits, the plastic mesh can be planted, utilizing wicking channels and properties of the material itself to provide unlimited water from the water body it floats in, allowing vegetation to flourish at its own pace. With the correct plant selection, wildlife habitat can be effectively created, vegetable gardens can grow quickly, and landscapes can be beautified with a minor amount of labor and fun.
BioHavens perform 5 main functions. They have the ability to remove pollutants from a waterway, including nitrates, phosphates, ammonia, and heavy metals. Microbial activity is the key to processing and removing contaminants from the water. As microbes colonize the surface area of the BioHaven, a biofilm is created, which is where the microbial activity occurs. Surface area is the key factor for microbial activity to take place. The BioHaven mesh construction creates a very large surface area for the microbes to attach. BioHavens are effectively a concentrated floating wetland. The huge surface area of fibers provides many times more surface area than an equivalent stretch of bare wetland. Over time, BioHavens can reverse anoxic or dead zones where there is little oxygen for life. The Chesapeake Bay suffers from these anoxic zones, which harm fish, oysters, and have nearly destroyed Maryland blue crab populations. BioHavens provide critical riparian edge habitat, easily planted and launched in even the most challenging habitat creation situation. Selected species can flourish, and over time, a natural ecosystem evolves. BioHavens can be constructed and used to sequester carbon and other greenhouse gases emitted from a water body or sewage treatment area. Like a natural wetland, BioHavens can provide wave mitigation and erosion control capabilities, stabilizing banks, creating living shorelines, suppressing storm events, and much more. Besides the multiple water treatment aspects of the plastic matrix, BioHavens make it easier than ever to beautify a waterscape. Golf courses, homeowners, landscapers, and more can beautify a water body with ease. Simply plant desired flowers and ornamentals and launch. Your plants will never need to be watered again.
BioHavens allow for a huge versatility in applications. These are just a few to open your mind to the many uses of the BioHaven floating islands. Creation of wildlife habitat, waterfowl nesting sites, land-based predator protection, aquatic wildlife protection from aviary predators, and creation of protected spawning areas for fish. for the home and garden, vegetable gardens that never need watering, floating docks, walkways, and gazebos, small ornamental islands, and farm pond water features.
I think you'll agree floating islands are a very interesting and valuable concept to consider. Lake Spinnaker, it's a very nice name, but in fact it's a stormwater retention pond, and all those problems attendant with those ponds we have, namely blue-green algae blooms. To solve this problem, Caloosa now spends, and will continue to spend forever, $7,600 a year to control the blue-green algae, which in fact only makes the situation worse. Copper sulfate is sprayed onto the algae, it dies, sinks to the bottom, and creates more of a nutrient load. And this is what causes blue-green algae in the first place. Additionally, on the west side of the lake, there's a vast bunch of cattails, which are very bad for the environment. They're invasive to the lake, and they're very short-lived. They also die, fall over in the water, rot, thus contributing further to the nutrient load. So what further can we do about this? Let me have about 3 more minutes, and I'll tell you a real ultimate solution. In fact, I think they both, floating islands and Solarbe, should be used together.
Does your lake, reservoir, or pond suffer from smelly green water or pond scum? If so, or if you want to prevent this from happening, you need to watch this important 3-minute message introducing the Solarbe, an innovative, chemical-free solution for restoring your lake. When excessive nitrogen and phosphorus inputs promote blue-green algae blooms, the water quality in your lake, reservoir, or pond can become so unhealthy it affects your community's quality of life. Harmful blue-green algae blooms cause a variety of problems, including bad-tasting drinking water, property values to plummet, even closure of affected areas, and, because blue-green algae contains toxins, they often reduce biodiversity in the lake. If you do nothing, the problems will only get worse. Chemical herbicides, alum applications, diffused air bubblers, and fountains provide little relief, and they will never permanently solve your water quality issues. And the expenses are never-ending. With the long-term effects of chemicals in waters used for drinking and recreation still unknown, the question remains, is there a natural chemical-free solution for eliminating blue-green algae blooms while restoring your lake's ecosystem? With a Solarbe reservoir circulator, the answer is yes. The Solarbe combats blue-green algae blooms naturally. The way it works is simple. Using only solar power, the Solarbe circulates the upper portion of the lake, physically disrupting the blue-green's preferred habitat of warm, stagnant waters. Nutrients now go into beneficial, edible algae, which are then eaten by zooplankton and fish, increasing the diversity of aquatic life. The elimination of toxic blue-green algae blooms, together with improved oxygen content, better water clarity, and a more vigorous fishery, recreates a healthy lake ecosystem. Solarbe is effective, so the potential benefits to the counties, cities, and residents living near affected waters are significant. As your lake, reservoir, or pond returns to a natural, healthier condition, the improved water quality will be more appealing for recreation and safer for consumption. A more attractive lake will stabilize or even increase property values. Solarbes are durable, unobtrusive, easy to install, and designed to perform for decades with minimal maintenance. And we manufacture the Solarbe in various sizes to meet the needs of water bodies from 1 to thousands of acres in size. What's more, the return on investment for the Solarbe is impressive. Though the upfront cost is a little more, the long-term savings is dramatic. We eliminate the expense and need for chemicals or land-based energy sources, making the Solarbe the most cost-effective and sustainable long-term solution available to lake managers. The Solarbe has created quite a stir throughout North America, and our extensive list of satisfied clients testifies to the true effectiveness of the Solarbe. If you're looking for a sustainable, environmentally friendly solution to restore your lake or reservoir, you need the Solarbe, creating quality water naturally.
The opportunity I mentioned at the outset comes from the Lee County Department of Natural Resources. I've been in touch with them and they seem willing to use Lake Spinnaker as somewhat of a test bed. And the reason they're willing to do this is that Lake Spinnaker is one of the few actual privately owned stormwater retention ponds that flow directly, or should I say overflow, into the Caloosa Yacht River, which was quite endangered courtesy of the Army Corps of Engineers. They have indicated they may well use this lake with our permission and support for a test bed. They would do a thoroughgoing survey, purchase and install a Solarbe along with floating islands. This is an opportunity that should not be missed, and I would like everyone to talk to their member of the Master Board and the Master Board themselves to encourage our cooperation. Again, this is an opportunity that should not be missed, and hopefully Lee County can assist us and we can assist Lee County in this endeavor.